Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today's video is brought to you by Scumbags. Now ladies and gentlemen, in the world of crypto, you can't trust anybody, not yourself, not your mother, not even anybody that you believe closely. You can't trust anybody. Now, of course, when I say that, and I bring to you characters like Martin Shkreli, who is one of the biggest financial scumbags in history. Now, there's some people who put this guy up as a god, but those people also have severe developmental problems. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Shkreli is the type of guy that if you ever knew anything about back in the day of pharma CEOs are all complete scumbags. Martin Shkreli was the one scumbag that took a life-saving drug and price hiked it so far up the ass that he put himself up into the entire scrutiny of the US Congress, the legal system, and everything. And now Martin Shkreli has been to jail. He's finally out, but he went to jail for a totally different thing, which is securities fraud. Now, effectively, when you're scamming the rich elite in the country or the world, that's when the entire slaps come down onto you. So let's get into the whole history for this. Now, of course, Martin Shkreli was a part of a pharmaceutical company, one that he owned, called Turing, which basically bought Daraprim and raised the price from around $13.50 all the way up to $7.50. In Martin Shkreli's own words, he said, if there was a company that was selling an Aston Martin at the price of a bicycle and we buy that company and we then ask to charge Toyota prices, I don't think that should be a crime. Brother, what you are is comparing luxury cars to life-saving drugs. Bit of a fucked comparison, if you will, too. Now, of course, scumbags will do anything to defend the behavior. That's not anything out of the ordinary. What really came into the entire situation was when Martin Shkreli was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment for a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. So Shkreli, a former hedge fund manager and CEO of a biopharmaceutical company, defrauded investors and engaged in a stock fraud scheme involving publicly traded Retrofin Incorporated. Now, this is back from 2018, where basically he was giving 7 years imprisonment for committing this fraud and fraud conspiracies, and then he was followed by some 3-year supervised release, right? So the court basically ordered him to pay a $75,000 fine and $7.3 million in forfeitures. So, of course, they even forfeited a bunch of other things as well, too, where they were substituting assets that he has. Martin Shkreli was one guy that once proudly showcased all the music that he owned, music that belonged to, groups such as the Wu-Tang Clan, and basically the US government jumped in, grabbed those, and basically sold them off themselves in order to pay for all the forfeitures that Shkreli had owed. It's kind of wild, shocking shit. But of course, to get into this entire story, Shkreli was a founder and managing member of MSMB Capital Management and MSMB Healthcare Management and the former chief executive officer of Retrofin Incorporated, a biopharmaceutical company that trades under the ticker symbol RTRX. He was convicted by a federal jury in August 2017 following a 6-week trial of 2 counts of security fraud and 1 count of security fraud conspiracy. In 2017, the court found that Shkreli had violated his bail conditions by making online threats against Hillary Clinton and remanded him into custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center, where he is currently incarcerated. For years, Shkreli told lie after lie in order to steal his investors' money, manipulate the stock market, and enrich himself, said United States Attorney Donahue. He will now pay the price for repeatedly violating the trust placed in him by his investors, his employees, and the public. It remains a priority of this office, together with our law enforcement partners, to investigate, identify, and bring to justice criminals like Shkreli. Martin Shkreli was notoriously ambitious, seeking to enrich himself at the expense of those who unwittingly invested in his lies. His crimes have been laid bare for all to see, and his intentions, which have been proven true beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Martin Shkreli over here had used false representations and omissions to induce investors to invest more than $3 million into a hedge fund he made in 2009. Subsequently, following trading losses, Shkreli sent fabricated performance updates to investors, boasting that the fund had made big profits when in fact it had sustained substantial losses. And then in addition, he withdrew more than $200,000, far more than the 1% management fee and the 20% net profit incentive allocation permitted by the fund's partnership agreement. Point is, he defrauded investors. Now, when it comes to defrauding investors, because there are so many laws in place to stop big players from getting fucked by guys like this, Martin Shkreli went to prison. When you put money into like Asscoin or Titscoin, not only are you a complete dumbass for doing it, but there are no protections really for you when it comes to stuff like this. That's why there's so many rug pulls happening by influencers, because they know basically that they can get away with it. But when you try doing this in the actual stock market, in the actual financial world, you get not only hit with slaps on the wrist, forfeitures up the ass, but you can completely barred from ever working in those specific industries. And not only did he get banned from the pharmacology industry, the pharmaceutical industry, sorry, he got banned because of that HIV medication, the Daraprim that we were talking about earlier, where basically he was found guilty of price gouging and monopolizing the market. And then not only was he banned, but he was also basically charged with returning $64+ million in profit that he made from that price jacking itself. So effectively, he is pretty fucked in every capacity, all right, at least financially, from how his ties are with the government. Now, you might be like, but Muda, I didn't come here for some, biopic on Martin Shkreli. Some of you probably knew this already coming in. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, now that I've given you some of this context, I'm going to ask you a question. Would you ever invest money into a cryptocurrency that was pushed by this guy? If the answer is yes, well, ladies and gentlemen, for those who answered yes, you might need to go back to school because clearly you're not all the way there, okay? For those of you who said no, which I'm hoping are most of you, well, congratulations, you passed the Turing test. You are not, in fact, a moron. You're not, in fact, a robot. You're not some AI. You are, in fact, a functional human being. Good job. Now, it came out 2 days ago that Martin Shkreli's new token, Martin Shkreli Inu, basically had a 95% drop. So you can see how the graph goes, oh, it's going, bam, right to the ground. So anybody that had money put into it, well, it's all gone, all right? Now, of course, in Martin's own words, he was in fact hacked. Now, this is Martin's Twitter account, from all I've heard, Enrique Hernandez. Again, the only proof for this is he has some Twitter spaces where if you play the recording, it literally does just sound like Martin Shkreli. But of course, that's just me like giving you out there. You're free to go look more into this if you want. Now, of course, Martin Shkreli writes, I got hacked last night. Okay. He downloaded a rat from a torrent. Well, I will rebuild and repair whatever damage occurred. Still assessing. So he claims to have downloaded a remote access Trojan from something that he was torrenting. Now, Martin Shkreli got released from prison not too long ago, actually. Now, he got released from prison into a halfway house in New York. Martin Shkreli was released from federal prison in Pennsylvania onto a BOP halfway house in New York to complete the rest of the criminal sentence for security fraud. So it's not over yet, okay? I think it's actually over in 2023, so currently I think he has like a year left to go, provided the government doesn't look into any of the stuff we've covered so far. Notorious Farmer Bro was released from a federal prison in Pennsylvania to an undisclosed location in New York to complete the rest of the criminal sentence. The dude's sitting in a halfway house getting people to sign on for crypto stuff. Now, what kind of crypto stuff are we talking about over here? Well, ladies and gentlemen, like all crypto projects, there's got to be something that draws in the crowds. And in this case, it's something known as drug-like, which is drug discovery democratized. I guess you can't be part of the pharmaceutical industry anymore, but I guess you can be part of the decentralized pharmaceutical industry. So again, just to read over it, it's a democratized cost, which is drug-like's decentralized computing network, will provide resources for anyone looking to start or contribute to early-stage drug discovery projects. Decentralized access. Provide tools for constructing and running large-scale virtual screening workflows, along with a web-based tool suite for target identification and drug design. So I guess it's just designing drugs and working together all in one, kumbaya, open source development, if you will, some wild shit. Now, of course, you can sign up for it, but what he clearly tells you is this is powered by MSI. MSI is Martin Shkreli Inu coin, the same coin that has dropped 50% already? Actually, let's get the 7-day scenario. No, it hasn't completely. It's kind of it dropped 95, but it's going back up a little bit. We'll see how it looks down the road. There's a lot of volume going on, so again, it's a very volatile token at the moment. Now, of course, when Martin Shkreli tells you they're unveiling their first Web3 project in July 25th, 2022, not too long ago, you can imagine why so quick is this kind of a development happening? Now, of course, when you look into Enrique Hernandez, or I believe to be Martin Shkreli's Twitter account, of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is in fact a Twitter space that you can actually listen to if you wanted. It's about an hour long. The first 10 minutes are really the most important part. But again, he claims that he was hacked, actually. Again, we know that he claims to be hacked by downloading some shady file off of a torrent, if you will, which I make some virus investigation videos. I make some basic common sense videos, Martin. You might want to give them a watch sometime. You could probably prevent a hack at some point. But of course, he basically gets tossed with some accusations that he might have actually funded the initial person that hacked him. That would be a pretty damning accusation. And so I wanted to sit back and sort of realize if we can prove this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, there's a saying when it comes to this stuff. Men lie, women lie, but the blockchain never lies. So while Martin Shkreli is sitting playing video games like Lost Ark, let's get back and look into just what his blockchain, just what his official wallet is actually saying. Now, of course, Martin says that his wallet actually is known as oxshkreli.eth. This wallet is known as OX6B490F357OB53. Okay, but the whole string goes on. Now, if you actually look into what has happened over here, if you just look directly at this wallet, you can see that sometime around 18 hours ago, this wallet was kind of fuddling around with the swap pools, the liquidity stuff for Martin Shkreli Inu, but very quickly it sent it all to OXEAF OF8BA50D. This wallet took basically all of the Martin Shkreli Inu, the Shkreli Inu coin, and the Burn Shkreli coin as well. So all three of these Shkreli-like tokens that existed. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is the attacker's wallet. Even according to the Twitter account itself, who claims that the attacker wallet, in their own words, is the same wallet. OXEAF048BA50D1COC6 is the attacker's wallet. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to go into the blockchain. Let's take Martin Shkreli. Maybe he was actually hacked. So I'm going to paste that in there and I'm going to go enter that all the way through. Now, of course, if I look into this wallet real quick, you can see that it has 51 total transactions. Basically, when it received in the ERC20 tokens from Shkreli, it then started to flood this all the way around and basically send money. In fact, its transactions recently have went in terms of sending 3, 1.5, 4.5 Ethereum, 11 Ethereum, 20, 10, 10 Ethereum. According to Martin Shkreli's Twitter space, it seems like 77 Ethereum was pulled out. So somewhere around like $150,000 US was basically pulled out, okay? Now, of course, that's a pretty substantial loss. But of course, let's go into where this was sent to. So this 20 Ethereum was sent to this one wallet, which is then sent to OX077. And then of course it's sent to other wallets and other wallets. So either these are exchanges or these are basically places where money is being rapidly cleared. So again, you could say like, Tornado Cash or like money laundering fronts or Bitcoin mixes, if you will. But again, let's go back to that attacker wallet. So if you actually look in the 51 transactions, one really cool thing that you can do is you can go to the first page and you can find out who first sent this person money. So of course, 20 hours ago, a wallet by OX628-140C58EOFA sent this guy 0.27 Ethereum. Now, based on the fact that we have 21 total transactions, this is not some exchange that it appears that Shkreli is buying from. This has clear indication that Shkreli was involved with this account, that, ladies and gentlemen, later also sent money to this account as well, the attacker. So Shkreli financed OX628, which then 28 days later, and then now, about a day ago, that account financed the hacker. And of course, that's not just my words, that account is the hacker according to Martin Shkreli themselves. Now, I guess before the end of it, that's some pretty damning shit to find on the blockchain there, Martin. And I want to ask you, PharmaBro, clearly you're a better financial wizard than I am. Clearly you're a god amongst finance geniuses. So I want to simply ask this god the question. Can you explain those weird financial transactions on the blockchain? Why is it that the attacker that stole all your crypto money was financed from an account that also appeared to be financed directly from you? I don't know. That's pretty damning, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? It shouldn't be me asking the questions. It should be the law enforcement agents who put you in your fucking halfway house. So next time, you're playing your little video games and doing your little trading, challenges, I really want you to address this out to the public itself. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just reading things the wrong way. Maybe I'm just a total dipshit. But please, correct me if I'm wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar. And if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.